Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Science Online. And today we're going to be celebrating something a little early, and it's my favorite holiday in March. And some people think, "Ooh, St. Patrick's Day." No, no, no. So much better. Today we're going to talk about Pi Day. Now, Pi Day is because pi 3.14 is usually what most people think of when they think of pi as a number, and it's used to do a lot of things, especially when you're involving circles. Uh, and it happens to be the third month, January, February, March, and next Tuesday. So I have to do this now and not next Wednesday because then I'll miss it. Next Tuesday, 2023, is Pi Day, which means that we get to celebrate everything that is a circle. And so, in order to do that, I'm going to show you how to make circles, how to find the area and different sizes of circles, and then we're going to eat some pie. Well, I'm going to eat some pie, and hopefully next Tuesday, all of you will get some pie. So, first things first, circles are both really hard and really easy to make. You can use something that is already a circle, but this one got a little squished. So, you'll see later on that the circle that I traced is not a true circle because, well, at some point that tape was squished. You can use something called a compass, and these are great to have. You just hold this line, spin it around, and it creates a circle. And this is the radius. And radius we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Okay. Or if you don't have any of these things, but you have a nail or a screw and say you need to make a circle to cut out, take your board, push this up a little bit so you can see it. Now make sure that you keep this straight. You would measure out how big you want your circle. So if I want, say, an 8-inch circle, I'd say, okay, this is 4 inches. It's not really 4 inches. I'm going to hold it there, and I'm just going to tie this around. Boop. I'm going to make sure I hold this nice and straight. And then, as long as I keep this, whoop, whoop, I can get an almost circle. Now, granted, my string just moved, so that won't work. I usually don't make circles like this. Here, hold on. Whoop. This is a bad example of making a circle, and I'm sorry. There we go. Okay? You can make a circle like that. My string let go, so obviously you want to tie a knot better than I did. So those are all examples of ways to make circles. You can trace them, you can use the string method, you can use a compass, you can try and do it freehand if you're really good. But the interesting thing about the number pi and why we celebrate on 314, which is March 14th, is because there are different parts of the circle. Okay, so all the way around a circle. So if you have like a ribbon and you undo that ribbon for the circle, that's going to be the circumference. If you measure from one side of the circle to the other through the middle, and that's important, you're going to get the diameter. And half of the diameter is the radius. So say we wanted to find out how long the outside of the circle is. Why would we need that? Well, there are a lot of reasons. People use pi to it's how NASA and all the astronauts know how to do a trajectory to launch the space shuttle. Um, oh, I also forgot pi. This three numbers. It's very shortened. This number of pi, mathematicians have actually, at the time of the video that I was watching, it's at, let me see, 23 trillion with a T, trillion digits. It just keeps going. It's what's called an irrational number. Um, and it's between 3 and 4, and it's how we get the area or the circumference, which is the distance around the circle. And it's also how we can, make sure that our friends don't get more pie than us, which, as someone who really likes pie, is very, very important. So let's try and find the circumference. So pi is this shape. So anytime we see this shape, we know we're going to use this number. Okay, and I know that the diameter is 8 centimeters, and the radius is half of that. 4 plus 4 is going to be 8. So I know the radius is 4 centimeters. So 2 times pi. So I'll do it. Can you guys see? Oh, you can't? Well, you can kind of see pencil. I like pencil. Math and pencil is good. So to get the circumference, which is going to be the distance from, or the distance all the way around the outside of the circle, C, so the circumference is going to be 2 times 3.14, which is our pi, times, what was the radius? Right, 4. And I should have done all the math before this because I will need to use a calculator because decimals. It'll take too long to do this, but understand that when you plug that all into a calculator, you're going to get the distance, okay? Or the outside length. But the big thing I want to do is because this is my pie. Now my pie has obviously gotten squished a little. It probably melted in the car when I brought it home. It might have been too close to the heater. I apologize. But this is my pie. It's little. I love it. I'm going to eat it. But I have to split this with my partner upstairs. So how do I do that? I'm going to find the area. So what I'm going to do, and I know you guys can't really see my ruler, and I'm sorry. Now this isn't going to be perfect. And when the bigger piece comes out, I'm going to eat it. Don't tell my partner. Oh, look. That's also 8 centimeters. Oh, that works really well. So for an area, we're going to get 3.14, which is our pi, times, now r squared. If I have 8 centimeters, r is the radius. So that means the radius squared. So it would be 4 times itself. 4 times 4 is 16. And then I'll use my calculator because I should have had this prepped and I'm sorry. Didn't even think about it. 3.14 times 16 equals. Ooh. So if I did this right, the area of my circle is 50 and 6/25. My calculator does fractions? What? That's amazing. I'm just checking my work. Yep, that's cool. So that means I just kind of have to cut it. It's the area. And if I want to cut it in half, I just take this number and divide it by 2. But long division will take a little while. But that's pi. So not only do you get to eat a tasty treat, but now you know how to find the circumference, which is the distance around the outside of the circle. You know how to find the area of the circle, which is all of this green. By the way, the pink dotted line is because, remember how I said you want to make sure that your circle doesn't get squished? So the green is my squish circle, but then I used my compass to actually make a correct circle because my tape got squished. Oops, didn't realize until after the fact. So go out and measure some circles. Or the next time you get a pie or a pizza, see if you can divvy it up into equal fractions. For instance, this is the area, and if I had 4 people, I'd divide this by 4 and see what the area is. There's a little more to that, but that's pretty basic. So just remember, pi, 3.14, and also Pi Day is on March 14th. Go get some pie, celebrate by doing some math, and eat up. Have a great day. Think scientifically. I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.